Hello, everyone. I want to especially welcome you this evening to another Visionary Talk Show. We had one on Saturday with Lady Jokotade Adeniyi, and we're on to this very special one with Queen Omowunmi Akinnifesi, who is a very beloved sister friend. She's got an extraordinary story, an extraordinary journey, quite an inspiring woman of many parts, and I can't really wait to share this evening with her. And I am excited, for every one of you who's been a part of the experience so far. Thank you for all the great feedback you've offered us about Visionary Talk Show and what you're learning. Okay, so this is just to welcome you, and I would love to know how you're feeling this beautiful evening, how your day has been, what you've been up to this Monday, and what you're looking forward to. Today, we're going to be sort of having a conversation around how a visionary can settle into her throne, wear her crown well, and ditch the labels and the lies that society always tries to put on us, right? Because it's so important to become more and more of your person. And I do feel like Omowunmi is just a great person to have this conversation with, because there's a way that a beauty queen could be stereotyped into just what the world thinks that you're supposed to be and you're supposed to do. But what Omowunmi has done is defy those stereotypes. She's just been so many things. She's been an environmental consultant. She runs a fashion brand. She has a PR agency. She's been a part of a tree planting project for Lagos State, and generally just built her life. And now she's actively in the personal development and coaching space as well, just exploring her own possibilities without the limitations of societal pressure, societal expectations, the labels, the lies, and all those things that tear down at a visionary's heart. This is also like a really special edition because it is International Women's Day today, and for sure, if you're a woman, we celebrate you, you're special, and I'm just so pleased, to be able to do this with you, do this for you. Welcome today, Idowu Olukayode, Abiola Fadahusi, you're welcome. Oyinkansola Hilary, my sister, you're very welcome. Anu Aboyeji, I'm delighted to have you on board this evening. Mercy Toha, you're welcome. Marilinda Ferry, you're welcome. Susan Suniwali, thank you for replying my emails, and thank you for being early. Thank you for taking the front seat. I hope you're having your Chapman, your popcorn has been served. Are you enjoying the shawarma? Welcome to you, Mensoma Ilechuku. Welcome, Maureen. Welcome, Adegbenro Koshemani. Welcome, Adaize Oparaku. Very excited to meet every one of you this evening virtually. Welcome, Noli Amonkoti. Very excited to welcome you as well. How's everyone doing this evening? Mercy, glad to have you, Mimi. You are welcome, and I'm excited to have you as well. Ayo Buide, you're welcome. Blessing Ode, tuning in from Dallas, Texas. Very excited to welcome you. Tombra, my sister, you're welcome. Please let me know where you're tuning in from, what part of the world you're joining us from today, and let me know also what your last visionary talk show experience was. Thank you. Welcome, my sister, Idoite Hila. Lara from Canada, you are welcome. Nolly from Ghana, excited to welcome you. Toby Otenaike, you are welcome. Ife Freeman, you're welcome from Australia. Anolua Kojolasho, thank you for joining us from Lagos, Nigeria. Very excited to welcome you. Belinda, welcome joining us from Ikeja in Lagos. Ife joining us from Perth in Australia. Keziah, you're welcome from Ghana. Very pleased to welcome you. Very pleased to have you on board this evening. It's definitely going to be such a great time, such a beautiful time. It's going to be an extraordinary experience together. Inkiru, you are welcome from Lagos. Fumi is watching also from Lagos. Masoma from Anambra, Nigeria. Wura, thank you for joining us from Massachusetts in the US. Kemi is joining us from Denver in Colorado. Welcome. Bodam is right here with us from Lagos, Nigeria. March from Ogun. Mercy from Lagos. Thank you, Omobosola, joining us from Lagos, Tolu Alope from Ife, Dr. Timitope Alimi from Atlanta, you're welcome. Nene is joining us from Abuja, you are welcome. Marilinda from Senegal, you are welcome. Super excited to have you. Simone is joining us from Kaduna, you are welcome. Oparaku from Enugu, excited to welcome you. Idowu is joining us from Lebanon, and you're very welcome. Okay. Thank you so much for being a part tonight. Toby is joining us from Dubai, and we are delighted to welcome you. Olubusolagbeson, my darling, you're welcome joining us from Lagos this evening. Shadio Moni from Lagos as well. Anu Kano is joining us from Toronto, Canada. Franca is joining us from Abuja. Thank you so much. Blessing, this is your first time joining us. You're going to have a blast. I promise you. Tim Topper from Lagos, Oke from Lagos, Susan from Port Harcourt, Rhoda from Lagos, Omowunmi from London in the UK. You are super welcome. I'm just so excited to see everyone. Bolanle Esho, you're welcome from Lagos. Aurelua from Lagos as well. You are welcome. Let's talk about your last experience. Just a few more minutes. I already have my sister friend, Queen Omowunmi, in the building, and it's going to be beautiful, as you can imagine. Let's talk a bit about your last talk show experience on Saturday. Belinda says, on Saturday evening, I experienced a serious mind shift, and I learned the power of staying in the secret place. It always says, do what you have to until you arrive at your desired destination. No job or vocation is beneath you. I love it. Joy from Uyo Akwa Ibom, you are welcome. Super excited to have you. I love it. I love it. So good. So good. You're excited. And thank you to everyone who is in love with my pink blouse. I thought to be a little girly for you since it's International Women's Day. Okay. And I'm glad that you love it. Oyinkosola says, my last experience was explosive. I learned the power of solitude. And says Saturday was mind-blowing. I'm still recovering. Obiora says, Obiora is joining us from Zaria, Kaduna State. Sinom says, it was amazing. I learned the power. I learned that staying to hear God is very important. Susan says, last week's talk show was the answer I needed to my prayers. I noticed a shift in my mentality. I'm waiting for the right time to share my testimony. I love it. So good. Love Tolu says the importance of solitude and also being honest with oneself. Tim Topper says she learned how to sit in solitude till you find your blueprint and you can act on it. Oluwatosin says, I had an amazing, simple, down-to-earth, touching the soul and heart conversation, and I loved it. So good. Rura says, my takeaway, it all compounds. Stay with the Father and get busy on his instruction. This one is so beautiful. Just, it all compounds. I love that. It does come together and it adds the meaning, the meaning comes together ultimately. Nene says, Jokotari was so real. My big takeaway was intentionality in prayers, like serious sincere prayers. I targeted for each season and each circumstance. I find myself. Osei says, the message on solitude was for me. No one ever created anything without experiencing some quiet in their lives. This is good. I love it. Olushore says, the hurry mindset died. Beautiful. The hurry mindset died. So no hurrying anywhere, just sort of staying where you've been placed till you enter into what has been reserved for you. Welcome, my darling Adewumi Shoyege, joining us from Lagos. She said her last experience was mind-blowing. As small-mindedness was mercilessly dealt with. I understand being in solitude has nothing to do with negativity. I love it. So much light. Mary Linda says, I've not recovered from Saturday, honestly. I love that passion, her realness. I especially enjoyed how she was intentional about the presence of God, even in her car. This is so good. I'm excited for every one of you joining us today. And I want to tell you that this time with Omowunmi Akinnifesi is going to blow your minds off. Like Omowunmi and I have a growing friendship, and she is in my one-on-one coaching program as well. And I'm thoroughly inspired by her wisdom, her charm, her humility, her execution, her go for it, and just how fearless she is with her dreams. I also love how she's really navigated, this challenge that I know many visionaries, especially women, face. And it's all around, how do I find my voice, sustain my voice without losing myself in the pressure of, societal labels and the lies and the expectations that other people have of me that may not align to my own direction and the personal journey that I should take. Juliana, thank you. Please invite your friends who are not a part of Immerse. We want to take a moment to do that now. Please take this link and share it. Put it on your WhatsApp status, put it on Instagram, send it to your friends, put it in that WhatsApp group you belong to, and let us all come together, because it's about to get heated. It's about to get heated, guys. It's about to get heated. You are going to thoroughly have a breathtaking time learning the wisdom that you need to find yourself, find your path, become your own woman, right? And also deal with the pressures that often come with trying to please everybody, right? Or even those disappointments that we sometimes face, in the different relationships that we have. So let's share it. Let's share the link with everyone in our circle who needs to be on this call, okay? And we are right about to start. I'm going to be adding my darling sister, Omowunmi Akinnifesi, to the stream. Exciting!
Hi.
Hello, my darling. How are you?
I'm fine.
You look amazing as always.
Thank you. So do you. We went all out today. The glasses, matching the hair, matching the... I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it.
That's how queens do, my sister.
You know?
That's how we do.
Amazing. You're glowing.
Thank you.
I need these glasses as well. I really need
these glasses. I'm going to sort you out. I am your plug. I got you. I'm going to sort you out. When we get to our lunch, I'll come along with yours.
Okay. Yeah. But are they recommended or are they recommended?
So the frames are on, like, I put my own lens in them.
Okay.
Yeah, I put my own lens in them. I can get you the frame, and if you want to put your lens in them, you can. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. I like that.
Yes. How are you feeling this evening?
I'm feeling good. I'm excited to be here. I cannot see the comments though. I don't know how to see the comments, but okay.
Okay. So on your right, if you look on your right,
yes,
can you see comments up there? Fantastic. Because you've got to see the comments. Everybody's giving you a lot of love. So you have to see so much. Yeah. We've been giving you so much love because we love you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So tonight we invited you because we wanted to have this super important conversation around how a person really masters embracing the visionary prototype, and how we learn to ditch the labels, the lies, the societal expectations. And I'm going to tell you, there are many things that really make you so special to me. But one of the reasons I thought you were such a great person to have this particular conversation with is I don't know many beauty queens or ex-beauty queens who sort of went beyond that beauty queenie thing to express their multi-dimensional self. You've led an environmental consulting firm. You've worked on big projects for the government. You own a PR, agency. You have a fashion brand. You are now in personal development and coaching. You've tried your hand on tourism and travels. Like what? Like it takes a lot of courage, because I'm sure that in some spaces there would be people who would be like, you're a beauty queen. Like, why are you doing that as well? What gives you the audacity to be like in environmental management and you're doing serious stuff? So, and I'm sure that there's some conversations you're trying to have, and maybe people are not taking that seriously. I have an ex-beauty queen on this call as well, Bodam, your sister. We were together inside. Yeah. And I know that those are like stereotypes. There are stereotypes that people have. And they're beautiful. They think you're not smart. They, you know, you graduated at master's level from King's College. It's a keenly contested type of space. And people don't even think that people, you know, queens who are beautiful can be smart. And yeah, just all those things. I wonder about it. And maybe it takes me to my first question. How do you deal with the stereotype that you're pretty, dumb, or average, and you don't deserve a seat at the table beyond your looks? How do you deal with those things when they come at you?
So DDK, this is it's a very emotional topic for me, because I think it's something that a lot of women go through, period, you know.
Yeah.
And then you now add beauty queen to it. It just puts it on steroids. It's like but honestly speaking, even going into the pageant, let me not go all, but I told God that if I win this pageant, Father Lord, I want to show people that it's not about you. I want to be different, first of all. So I already made up my mind from the beginning that I was not going to be the average beauty queen. So that was already imprinted in my heart. So I had a duty. To prove that, see, it's not just about beauty, but it can be about brains as well. You know, the normal beauty and brains, But even aside that, let me give you an example of what sometimes what we go through. Even you mentioned my master's in London, and I remember walking into the class, and I looked like this. I was well dressed. You're going to school, or the first day in school. My master's at King's College London. So I really wanted to look good. Us Nigerians now, you just look good that day. And I went to class, and immediately I stepped into the class. The teacher told me, because I was studying environmental modeling, monitoring, and management. It's very techy. It's very technology based. You build climate models using Excel. You have to use GIS software. It's all of that. So it's basically you on a computer. You're like a geek. And immediately I walked in, he said, "Excuse me, I think you might be in the wrong department. I think you might be in the wrong place." I'd not even landed. Like, I'd not even sat down. I didn't sit down, nothing. This guy just said, "You might want to go to tourism." He was directing me to another class. I said, "But this is a class I paid for, this is where I'm supposed to come to." He said, he didn't allow me enter that class. He didn't allow me sit in the class. And he told me to go to the HOD, and the HOD spent hours trying to convince me to do something else. And I was like, I don't understand. Is it that the course is hard, or is it that you think I don't have the brain to do it? Did you accept me into this course? Long and short, I ended up doing it, and I was one of the best people in my class. And they were surprised. They were all shocked. So that just goes to show you that people just judge you by staring at you. They judge you from what you look like. They judge you from what you sound like. They judge you from everything. And for me, I just had to know who I was. I had to know who I really am inside. And that saved me from a lot of things. And I hope that answered your question, but we'll dive deeper anyway. So that just, it's really about centering yourself and truly knowing yourself.
So the knowledge of who you truly are helps you navigate the varying perceptions that people might have about you. And I'm sure we'll talk a bit more as we go along on this matter of what does the journey look like to uncovering identity. I'm sure we're going to talk a bit more about it. But I want to ask a question before we get into some of those things. And at this point, it will be for me, it is possible for a person to want to get into, a beauty pageant, and the family around you, your support system, say, no, you can't do that. And that's not even just beauty pageants. It's just an example, right? There are many situations where people are unable to pursue their dreams because those around them, exclude them, like, you can't do it or you shouldn't do it. If a woman or visionary, a person who carries a burden, a dream, has a goal at heart and they feel constrained, how do you navigate that? Did you have naysayers when you wanted to go for the beauty pageant, for example? And how do you navigate those things?
DDK, I had naysayers for everything I wanted to do in my life. I don't think that there was any one thing that in fact, it's the silly things, the things that don't really matter, the things that were not really going to add value to my life. Those are the things that nobody really had any problem with. So if I wanted to, there was a time, I digress a little. There was a time that, I wanted to, there was something I wanted to do. Nobody had a problem with it. But the minute I wanted to become a beauty queen, there was a problem. The minute I wanted to go for my master's, there was a problem. The minute I wanted to even, the minute they wanted to give me environmental ambassador, there was a problem. Every time that it was a big stepping stone for my life, every time God was really about to show himself, there were distractions of self-doubt, distractions of naysayers, of people saying you can't do it. That was a norm. In fact, now I'm even used to it. It was that bad that now I've become used to it. During the beauty pageant, you have everybody, forgive me, including family, everybody would say, oh, are you sure you're not fine enough now? Or you have pimples, you have can't you see that people, how many beauty queens want that have acne, or are you sure you're tall enough? All of that. And it entered me. But sometimes when I looked for God very early in my life. So I had a guide. I had an internal compass guiding me. So I just used to try to do things that felt right in my spirit. And that helped me through those hurdles. Now, even after becoming the beauty queen and all of that, moving forward, it was tough because now it's now even on steroids, because now you're a fine girl and you're a beauty queen, so you can't be that intelligent. So different things come to you. People label you. People stamp things on you and say, this is who you are. And DDK, I'm not going to lie to you. I was becoming that person that they said I was.
Yes, so, it happens.
After winning the crown, right? I remember waking up at Eco Hotel and I was on the highest floor, like the most expensive floor at Eco Hotel, presidential suite or something, and looking up and like, wow, this feels really good. But I did not know that I had changed to the eyes of people in terms of their perceptions of me.
Yes.
So immediately I stepped out of that bed. Everybody around me was different. They were acting different to me. I said, but it's still me now. Like, what's up now? It's still me. But they were acting different to me. And I went home and my neighbor came to visit me. And she came to visit me in my nightwear. And this is nightwear that I'll wear to her house. She'll come to my house. We'll go to each other's houses. She'll see me without makeup, my hair standing, my hair, And she said, oh, is this you? So is this you? Is this the person that won the beauty pageant? If it were me, you know what I would have done? And I was like, hey, this is somebody that really knows me. And how is it the expectations are so high?
Yeah.
So guess what your sister did? I started behaving like that person that I thought they wanted me to be.
Yes.
So they labeled me and I wore the label. Because I felt that, okay, since this is how I'm supposed to be, then let me even be that person.
Yes.
And I started on that journey. But you see, when I was going on that journey, my inner, there was just a detachment. My inner soul was dying. I was dying inside. And so I became an actress in my own life.
Yes.
You're constantly performing. And when you go home, it's like, phew, okay, I'm at home now, thank God.
Wow.
What kind of life is that? And this thing went on for, it went on for so long that even I didn't recognize it. It took the mirror of God to show me what I was doing to myself. I know it sounds very, very easy. I know it sounds very, but this was very tough in my life, because we live in a society that you want to belong. You want to belong in some certain circles. You want to look a certain way. You want to talk a certain way. You know, you want to act a certain way. You constantly find yourself chasing that. You don't even, it's subconscious. You don't even know that you're chasing these things, but you're constantly chasing somebody else's truth. And guess what? It might not even be their truth. It might be their lie. So you're blind following the blind.
Wow.
So it was a very it was very tough for me, and I found myself, you know when there's a gap between who you really are and who you're trying to be, who you are pretending to be. There's a gap there because you're empty inside. You're not filling up anything. It's all acting. It's all pretense. It's all fake. And that's the truth of it.
Yes.
What happens in that gap? You start seeking external validation. So I was validation obsessed subconsciously without knowing it. So you rely on people noticing you. You rely on likes. You rely on you're just relying on people, basically. And you know, I went to Rome, right? And when you're in Rome, you use a map, a physical map. You can use a digital map, but you get the point. I was with a map, and I was walking around and I was seeing people gather here. And normal Nigerian me, when you see people gathering somewhere, that's where it's happening, right? So I'll now go to where the people are gathered. What's happening there? Let me go there. And there's nothing happening there. Those people are just standing, doing something. DDK, do you know that thing happened to me? I'm not joking. It happened to me like 6 times in Rome. You just see people gathering somewhere. You want to go. And I'll go. So then I now said, wait, so I have a map.
A map.
I had somewhere I was going.
I'm going.
But when I see people gathered somewhere, that's where I now go. And I'm now distracted. God. And I'll now be asking, excuse me, please, what's happening here? Excuse me, please, what's happening there? And those people, they're just doing their own. So one day I just stood somewhere, stood still. This is real, DDK. I stood and I was like, you know what? All these people, this is life. All this people, everybody's going their own way. Everybody's doing their own thing. People are gathering in different places. It doesn't mean that that's where I should be.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that that's where I'm called.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that that is where I'm directed to. I need to walk with this map and go my own way. And that saved me a lot of time while touring. So when I now see people gathered, I'm tempted, but I just remove my face and I just go.
Yeah.
And I started using that in my life.
Yes.
I was like, when people are gathering somewhere, when people are doing something, when people are hanging out, when people have to, that fear of the unknown, of missing out.
Fear of missing out.
Fear of missing out. When you see events on Instagram, you see things happening, you want to go, you want to be part of it, fear of missing out, or fear of not being part of a group, fear of not being part of a certain circle, or fear of not being friends with a particular person, all of those things are things that when you end up there, that kind of creates a label on you. It creates a sticker on you because you become that environment that you're trying to be like. You become those people that you're trying to be like, and you truly lose yourself.
Omowunmi, this thing you have I didn't know we were going to get into this early. Omowunmi, this singular thing you are describing is at the heart of what is turning a whole generation away from its true north.
Oh, yeah.
It is called identity theft. And I want to say, Omowunmi, that this thing didn't just happen to you because you were beauty queen. Guess what? It actually happens to every visionary. This is how it happens. The moment you start to make any degree of personal progress in your life, and somebody else looks at your life as the type that you desire, that you become an inspiration, which is not a problem. But where the problem is that they will gradually begin to convert that inspiration to idolatry unconsciously. They start to look at you and they create an image in their minds that they expect you to fit into. Right?
Exactly.
Then they would begin to reflect back that preferred image to you and say things like, DDK, you're not meant to, DDK, you are a general, or you're not meant to talk like that. You're not meant to come here. You're not meant to dress like this. You're not meant to be in this kind of car. Or whatever. Right? It's identity theft. What then happens is gradually, if you are not, look, it's not only about if you don't know who you are. It's also about purpose, holding on to who you are. Because identity must be held onto. It can slip out of your hands.
Exactly.
And you become who you were not before. So this identity theft is actually about the second biggest reason, Omowunmi, for suicides among celebrities. Because on the inside, they are constantly feeling lost and empty. That thing you said, the gap between who you really are and who the world has made you to be. Whenever there is that gap, emptiness is inside. You always need external validation. And when they are with themselves, they just feel like, you people don't even know me, and I don't even know who I am anymore. It happens to pastors. Yeah, they'll call you mama, papa, you lose who you are, you start to live for a stage, act a certain way, just to be made in their image after their likeness. It's only God's image you were meant to be made after, and his likeness. It's so powerful.
Period. Wow. Period. That is it.
Love it. I love it. And I love the vulnerability. And maybe that's what I want you to go on to next. I love how you've been vulnerable enough to tell us, look, I started to live for the label at that time. What was that journey like, getting yourself out? It's almost like extricating yourself from the prison of the man-made image. What does that journey look like to gradually start to say, hey, this is me, and I'm not doing this thing for, You
begin, the truth is that you begin to die inside, silence. Yeah. And there's a disconnect because there is an essence to who you truly are. There is a glow to who you truly are. There is a person that God has created you to be. And when you are not that person, people can smell it.
Yeah.
Other spirits can smell it. So your spirit, you're not using the spirit that God gave you. You are sinking it in. And you have embodied another spirit that they did not send you to embody. So people can recognize you. And more dangerously, people that are authentic can recognize your inauthenticity.
Yes.
Spirit, because we don't walk in flesh. People think we just walk, we really walk in spirit.
Yes.
Spirit recognize spirit. So people will just, there's something, that's why people say there's something about her. I don't really know. I can't put my finger on it. They just can't, so you're losing, when you are acting like you're somebody else, you're losing the true people that you should truly be engaging with. And you're engaging with the version of pretense that you have pretended to be. And you are now wondering that, I don't even know why I had that kind of friend. I don't even know why I dated that guy. I don't even know why that happened to me. When you've not come out of this box you've put yourself in. You're the package in the wrong casing. You're the gift in the wrong casing.
My God.
So till you come out and truly be that gift, is the time you'll be handed out to the right people, to the right opportunities, to the right, all of that.
Wow.
So it's that journey for me. It was a very, very tough journey because it's a journey of compliments. People will really, really be complimenting you, right? You know, people will really say that you look beautiful. People will say that, oh my God, you know, and it was even bad because I remember somebody came to my house and I knelt down, something fell under the chair and I knelt down to pick it up. And the person said, oh, no, you're a beauty queen. You should not be kneeling down in my own house. So that one too affected me. I said, hey, so I cannot go somewhere and kneel down. I can't go somewhere and I can't sit on the floor. I can't, you know, so, which is a lie. If I sit on the floor, people would be like, oh, why is she? But they'll accept it and be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, so she's real. She's herself.
Exactly. So half the time, people don't even really know what they want. They only impose it on you. And if you take it, that's now your own battle to now be fighting while they've gone. Wow. And sometimes even, you know, you don't even know what is talking through them. So it's time for you they just want to distract you. That should be, you're even on that journey of pretense. They'll just say something to you. Like somebody once told me that, oh, you're such a butterfly. A butterfly should really, you know, yes, you fly all the time, but you should rest sometimes. You should just stay in one place. I said I'm a butterfly, but I should stay in one place. Am I not supposed to be flying? Or am I supposed to say, so if I'm taking that person's zone now and stay in one place, that's how I'm going to take what I'm not supposed to be taking. You know, so during that time of and I feel I mean, there are young girls out there. I don't know who is out there. I don't know. You know, I feel like, especially with social media now, subconsciously, we want to, you know, because we're all inspired to be something big, right? We're all inspired to be more. But what is the more and how relevant is this to you? So you sometimes you see some people's pictures and you're like, oh, wow, you know, she's so beautiful. Oh, wow, she's so this. Is that really what you're aspiring to be? You know, are you, what is it about that person that you really, really want to be? Is it to look fine or to dress up, or which one is it? Because you can easily dress up today and look fine. You know, you can easily wear something and look fine. But you think that on that surface is where you're thinking, but it's affecting you in a deeper sense that you are losing your true essence. You are disengaging with your true self because of this thing that we are trying to aspire to be. So I'm not saying don't aspire to be something, but I'm saying that aspire to be yourself first. Know who you want to be, genuinely want to be. Write that down and look at it. Look at the kind of values that you have. Look at the values that you feel that person that you want to be has. And look if it aligns. Because at the end of the day, you are going to be in that world all by yourself and you're going to have to save yourself. So for me, I had gone through this blind journey and it was really tough. And it took a heartbreak to bring me back to life.
Yes.
So sometimes we break, you know, because you can't be pretending, you pretend for so many years. And this is not even, it's subconsciously, it's not conscious that, I'm pretending on purpose. You don't even know you're doing it. That's the dangerous part. So I've met beauty queens that are 50, 60, and they're still on that journey, DDK.
Yes.
And I'm using beauty queen because that's what we're talking about. But there's so many people that have gotten lost. Like the way I was in Rome, they've gotten lost following other people. And you're just following and you don't even know. Those people have even left the journey, but you are still following. You are still on that journey. You think that you are following people and you're constantly making up this character, making up this person as you're going. So you're constantly wearing new people. You see this person, you wear this person. You see this person, you wear this person. At the end of the day, you are like 10 people with no authenticity. And that was me. That was me for a long time. And I had no idea. DDK is stressful. You just be under stress. It's a lot of work, because you're not resting on you. You're not resting on your spirit. You're resting on other people's assumptions of you, other people's perceptions of you, other people's spirits, what you are thinking that should be, how you are thinking that you should talk, how you are thinking that you should. So you are constantly on that. But then, like I said, it took like a heartbreak, and I feel like God did that on purpose. And sometimes it's when you're broken that something comes out of that brokenness.
Yes.
There's a new birthing. Because if you are still intact, there will be you can't walk with anything. So sometimes God needs to break that plate into pieces to mold it back. I'm telling you, and the scars now even look more beautiful. Wow. So I went through this journey of you just break down. I just broke down, and I read it somewhere that you can be, how the normal saying, you can lie to the world, but you can't lie to yourself. But you can also lie to yourself, but you can't lie to God. So even on that journey, you're praying to God, you're everything, and God is giving you grace. You still have your grace. You still, you still have God with you, but He's not able to do His mighty works in you because you're not in the container He puts you in. You're in another person's container, or you're in 10 other people's container. So He's working on your spirit. And DDK, that is part of the reason why I went through so much in personal development. I didn't know at the time, but I realized I was going to school a lot. I was reading everything. I was doing a lot, studying. At some point, my friend even said, "Is it only you that goes to school?" Because externally, I was a different casing, but internally, that was the only thing that could really feed me.
Yes.
Studying, developing, that was the only thing that was really feeding my soul, developing myself. Because my external,
I want to make sure following. The first thing that happened was, what was happening before the beginning of the breakthrough was you were living in these labels and these lies, and it was subconscious. You were just living up to this societal expectation, and it was stressful, right? But then you had a heartbreak. That was the beginning of a new beginning. You had a heartbreak, and that took you to a place of pain. And as you started to maybe now ask questions about, who am I really? Like, why am I feeling this rejection? Why did I give love and not get love back? You may be, because I know the story a little bit, that's why I can be putting this my interjections. But maybe you then started to find that, maybe this person wasn't even loving the Omowunmi inside, was loving the image of an Omowunmi. Yeah. So he was loving the casing and not the Omowunmi inside. And anytime you were vulnerable and tried to really show him, like, look, he can't deal with that, because like, no, I'm with a queen. You can't be vulnerable. You can't need me. You've got to have it perfect. You can't say, yeah. Boom. Yeah, exactly. So this heartbreak takes you to the place where you're now like asking all these questions, facing God, and that leads you on a journey of personal development. You start to read, you start to learn, you start to journal. Okay, take it up.
Oh yes, and I started asking questions. It was like, to be fair with you, I feel like God was trying to tell me, because I just realized that, people are living their lives like you are trying to chase something or you're trying to be something subconsciously, but then everyone is truly, truly living their lives. And whether they're living it authentic or not, that's none of your business. How are you living your life?
So good.
This thing started like, wait, like, I'm dying here.
Yeah.
And I just thought, you know what? Like I was saying before, you can lie to the world, but you can't lie to yourself. And then even when you do try to lie to yourself, you can't lie to God.
Wow.
And I realized that, even if I was a born again Christian, even if I was deep into Christ, he couldn't do that work that he wanted to do in me. I then had to be honest with him. And honesty with God, it's almost very painful because you're not even honest with yourself. Then how do you now want to even be honest on another level with God? Like, so I had to come out and just, I just told God one day, I said, God, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I don't know what's going on. I just had to, and I wept. Like I busted out crying. It wasn't even about heartbreak anymore. It was just about disconnected inside. I'm this very sweet person, but because of this facade that I've created, when, like you were saying, when I bring out my sweetness, there's a disconnect, and people are like, is this who you truly are?
Yeah.
They're not believing the sweet person. They're not believing the lie person. So which one? There's even no belief.
Yeah.
There's even nothing for them to even believe. So I started asking God questions. And then I realized that, first of all, he had already accepted me. Like, he had not accepted myself. But I was already in. I'm already a child of God. I'm already loved by him. So I was already accepted. Then I was already secure. Like I suffer no condemnation. Who has said it that it happened when the Lord has not decreed it? Like I was already secure. Like you find out that wait, so these things you're already there. You're already in.
Wow.
And then I found out that I was already significant.
Woo!
Already significant. I am the salt of the earth. I am the light of the earth. Like I'm already. And I remember praying one day, and I started hearing attitude, stubbornness, this, that. I started hearing different things, and I was wondering, what's all this? What is that's what you've been. That's what you've been. And I said, no, I've not been that person. I've not been that person. And I realized that there were all these things that in the bid to please people, in the bid for validation, I was becoming some certain things that were not really what, because no matter what you will become, and you become fake or you become real, you become authentic or inauthentic, but you will become. Whether I like it or not, you will become something. So there's a default. So if you're not intentionally becoming, and if you're not intentionally asking God what you are becoming, you will still become.
Wow.
And that I learned very late. So God was telling me that you're becoming this, you're becoming this, you're becoming this. And in life, we're percentages of different things. So you're a percent, if you're selfless as a percentage. If you're loving as at a percentage. So let me even tell you what I did. I got this instruction, DDK. And God told me, go and write down who you think you are. What is good about you? And I wrote it down. And I put it in percentages. And what do people say they love about you? Maybe you are seeking validation. What do people say they love about you? I put down under as well. And I looked at it. Okay. And then, what don't you like about yourself? Okay, I just wrote a few things. And then what do people say they don't like about you? I just wrote a few things. But you see, during my prayer time, I had to. So I used to do this thing where I'll go away for 2 weeks and pray. But there was a time when I just could not face the world. It was as if God wanted to just do that. It was as if God just wanted to deal with me. So I just went away from everybody. I was like, I'm dying inside. I just isolated myself. And during that time, I started hearing words, and I started adding to that list of what I don't like about myself. And that list became very full. I'll just say something. I won't be arguing with God that no, I'm not stubborn. I'm not this. I'm not that. And there are those things in percentages. So now I look at that list and I say, okay. So this is it, right? This is what I don't like. This is what is wrong. And I started working on it. So now I'm at peace with myself that, okay, this is what is wrong, right? And this is what is great. So I look at the greatness. I'm like, okay, I'm working on these things. I'm going to do more of these things. I'm going to multiply these things. And I looked at the things that were wrong. And I'm like, okay, how can we deal with this? So now, even when because people would still try to label you, we were all not perfect. I'm not perfect. So people will try to label you with your imperfections. Especially if you're a very sweet person, or, people will try to label you. Sometimes people just want to attack. I'm like, oh, you're so this, you're so that. And it's as if it's a label as they're saying it. So now there's nothing, you can't even insult me because I already know. You can't even say, oh, yeah, I already know. You think I'm this, I already know. I'm working on it. Thank you. I'm working on it.
I'm work in progress.
I'm working. Oh, you think that? Oh, I'm working on it. And I've increased my percentage on that, so I'm better. I'm better than yesterday. So
let me tell you what I love about this one.
Yeah.
What I love about this one you shared is such a powerful balance. Omowunmi, I love it. You see, because there are people that I find who have work in progress areas like we all have.
Yep.
But they can't take feedback and they can't grow simply because everything is an attack.
Yep.
But you went away, which is a part of your breakthrough methodology that God gave you. You used solitude, you cried out, you were honest, you expressed your brokenness, and then you started to say, for real, there are some things that are not great about me. How can we now create a goal achievement system through which I'm gradually maturing in this area? I love how you said the percentages where like, okay, this percentage has to come down on this one. This percentage has to go up on this one. And it's that balance where if something is coming at you, you don't have a blind side per se. People can keep giving you feedback and everything looks like an attack. No visionary grows without truth. I found that. No visionary grows without truth. So, and it's that important balance. On the one side, as a visionary, you do good work. People are going to be like, you are epic, you are amazing, it's beautiful. But you've got to have this funnel of truth into your life. When I sit with some of my mentors, when they undress me, finish, when they deal with me with raspberries, I will be quiet for days. And sometimes it's God himself that does it. He calls you in and it's not lovey-dovey, it's serious.
Yep.
He points at you and it's like, this and this must stop. This nonsense must stop if you're going to go with me to the next level. Do you see? And I think that's such an important balance in how we're building our lives. We are such a validation-obsessed generation. There is too much people-pleasing. There's too much approval addiction. There's too much validation obsession. Even with this International Women's Day, people have almost lost their minds about who didn't celebrate them, who celebrated them, the picture they should take, that they have not done photo shoot, all manner of things.
Wow.
And it's just important. Yeah. The journey to true identity, the balance there is, it's not when we talk about identity. What it does to you is it gives you an aspirational future, but also shows you where you are, shows you where the gaps are, so that you can grow into that possibility.
Yep.
I love it. I just love
Yep.
it so much. You came with fire here, baby. You just came for me. I love it. Wow.
Yep.
So I want to take on the conversation to a bit of the next level, Omowunmi. As you start to experience this deep work of inner transformation, it will mean that you're unclothing yourself from the labels and the pretenses and the way that you've sort of been seen by those who aren't really seeing you for who you are. And how do you then deal with those situations where maybe a friend is like, you're really changing, like what's happening? How do you deal with the possible separations that will happen in your relationships because you are now sitting into who you truly are?
Yep, exactly. Because they're labels, right? So when even when you have uncovered yourself and you have removed those labels because you've accepted yourself. You accepted yourself, you know that you're secure, you know that you're significant, and you've called yourself something else. You know your truth. Like, you know your truth, and the truth shall set you free. You know who you are. That's why writing those things of what you think about yourself and what people think about you, just so that is there. So, for example, I am beautiful, I'm intelligent, I am this, I'm that, and this, write everything. So once I keep looking at that list, and I keep reminding myself, because those labels come back. And we're in an environment where you've had people from secondary school. There are even people that from secondary school, they've already labeled them. This is how she is. Maybe she's dirty. So even when they can see you 15 years later, you still look dirty.
Yeah.
You still look dirty.
In secondary school, and I had to fight a battle. Because someone put it on a group like, oh, do you remember when I was like, this is so unkind.
Thank you.
How do you not let that go many decades after?
So you can imagine what that person will be going through. Maybe somebody stole in secondary school, and you see the person, and all you can see is thief. All you can see is thief. Or maybe some girl was loose or something, and now you can see loose girl. Yeah. Meanwhile, the person has changed. Change, yes, we often believe that people don't change, but people do change when they want to change.
People do change.
So, for example, because of the way that I was pretending to be and all of that, people still want to say, oh, she's still like this. Some people even know who you truly are because they are close to you and they've come close to you and they've experienced that other person. But obviously, there's still a mismatch, because when they are with you somewhere else, they see another person and there's this mismatch. But even when you come and your authentic self, sometimes authenticity makes people feel uncomfortable. So be prepared.
Yes.
When you start being your true self, it disturbs people. Like,
yes,
why isn't it doing you anymore? Like, or something, they start, it gets a reaction. And that's even kind of the devil still battling with you.
Yes.
But when you know who you truly are and you're walking in your path starts flourishing. You start flourishing. Your spirit starts flourishing. And that is what will now end up sustaining you. Because you've now accepted your truth. You've now accepted that I am truly, really beautiful. I am truly selfless. I am truly intelligent. I am truly this. I am truly that. And I know the things that I don't want to be. I know those things they thought I was. They thought I was selfish, or they thought I was stuck up, or whatever it is. I know those things. So it's all right. Somebody put on the chat, I can't shame be shameless. It's all right. And I'm not those things anymore. I'm just using those examples because for me, it was I was as if I was hiding something. I was hiding being kind because I'm truly, truly, truly inside a kind person. But you see, when you can't be kind and be a diva, like, you know, you have to have a little bit of a, you know, so that my own kindness was just suffering inside. When I'm really kind, and I'm really, really, my heart is very pure, but I'm trying to be something else. So, you know, so I started embracing who I was, and that list really helped me. And so I just, when people are still trying to label you, go back to your list and just walk in your truth. They'll adjust.
They will
adjust. And that is the truth. They'll still, you even have some people that maybe they fought with you because of some things, and that's not who you are anymore. But once you're walking in your flourishing path, because then God will now start really depositing what he has always wanted to do with you, what he has always wanted to tell you, what he has always wanted to do you for. So you are now true. So you don't go to that quiet place and just say, okay, I'm ready now. I know who I am. No. You keep going back. You have to rest on the person that has told you who you are now. So I constantly rest on that. I constantly rest on God that, okay, you know what? You know, oh, there's something happening there. I'm not going. Father, Lord, please, you know, lift me up to something higher. You know, these people validate me. Oh, sorry, I didn't meet up to your expectation. I really did not meet up to that expectation, right? Because before you're even afraid to say I didn't meet up to expectation. You're like, I can meet up to expectation now. You know, but then you're just like, okay. So you just, because you accepted it, you accept your truth, you accept your reality, and you walk in it. So no matter what, people will adjust. It's not about them. It's about you.
Wow.
Sometimes you see some people and you're like, oh, this girl has really changed. I already labeled her. I already thought this was who she still was. But then you just see that there's a consistency in her change. She has truly become that person. And you see in 5 years time, you now want to even go and be the person and find out that, wow, you really changed. You're no longer that person from school, or, you know, or you're no longer that beauty queen. So you change when you walk in your truth. You completely change.
I love it. And let me tell you the beautiful flip that I hear today, Omowunmi, and I feel like it's a challenge for everybody on this call and all the thousands around the world who get to watch it now and in the days to come. It's important for us not to be the peddlers of labels and lies. That is also important. It's part of your commitment to make the world a better place by not doing that. There are people who still continue to be judgmental against others. It's hard, it's unkind, it's stressful on people too. Because you don't know their journey, you don't know the work they're doing, the changes they're seeking to make. There are women who frustrate their sisters-in-law. There are bosses who frustrate employees. There are employees who frustrate bosses. There are people who frustrate their pastors and their pastors' wives. There are people who frustrate business associates. There are people who speak ill behind closed doors. You know, who cut out opportunities from others by judging who they used to be before. All these things are so, they break my heart when I see it or hear it being done to people. And I feel like visionaries already have their work cut out for them. If you've been sent with a mandate to any mountain, education, healthcare, whatever, wherever you are doing stuff, it's already pressure. So now hear that says they, people are criticizing you. It's heartbreaking. So I feel like it's a moment of a heart check for everyone. Don't be a peddler of judgment, labels, and lies. Make that your comment. Rise to your higher self, right? I often like to make my boast with my own circle of friends. Like, our conversations they are distraction free, they are offense free, they are poison free. Our conversations are safe, joyful, compelling, visionary. And it's because it's about energy. If you lower the energy to the level of lies and malice and gossip, it comes back to haunt you because your heart wasn't designed for that. It's like using your device for a device that was meant to create innovations. You're now using it as a torchlight. It's like taking an iPhone X and all you're using it for is what? I don't know, snapping pictures. That's even not a good enough example. Like, people need to recognize that your heart is actually the navigation tool of your life. Exactly. Your heart is meant to be what centers you and what creates a connection point with the realms of God. How will you not want to engage the realms of God where ceaseless and vast possibilities happen? And then you lower to the level of, and it's not even just about being a peddler. It's also, I also want to even add that ensure your heart does not harbor unkindness, does not harbor untruth. Some people can say, I don't say things about people, but you think them. It's still a lower, dirty place to be in life. Make sure your heart is not a gutter.
Exactly.
Make sure that you're not the reason somebody's hurting, and somebody is doubting themselves. Just spread love, a lot of it on purpose, And the people who are unable to spread love are those who have not really received it. If it's not been worked in your heart, you can't give it to anyone else.
Yep, I agree. Yeah. People change daily. The way should be your even your age, right? You age daily. You drink water every day. You eat every day. That's the same way you change every day. You truly, you're changing in some way. No matter what, you're changing in some way. So
yes,
intentionally change. And then always give people the benefit of a doubt.
Wow.
Because
intentionally change.
1 hour ago is different from me right now.
Wow. This is so good.
Because something happened. Sorry about that. So you're changing daily. You're constantly changing. So embrace change and give and see that.
This is so good.
I don't know what's going on. Yeah, sorry about that. People disappoint and all of that, but at least give people the benefit of a doubt and give yourself a chance. Give yourself a chance.
Give yourself a chance to change.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay, now that is so healing. Give yourself a chance to change. Woo, I love it. I love it. And I'm reading the comments. Thank you guys for bringing it on. It's super encouraging to see you here. You're gaining great value. I love the comments. Such a joy to see your thoughts. And this has definitely been so beautiful. Yes, Olufunke Olanrewaju, your heart is a navigation tool. It is the navigation tool for your life. The navigation tool for your life. And I love it. Marilinda, intentionally change because we're constantly changing anyways. We're constantly changing. So we can intentionally change. I love this one so much. Welcome back, Omowunmi. I left for a bit.
Was it only me that went off or did it go off?
No, it was you. It was only you who went off. Are you back? Can you hear me? I love this one by Maureen. Make sure you're not reason someone is hurting or someone is doubting themselves. And yes, Idowu Tehila, give yourself a chance to change. This one is very, very precious. So beautiful, so beautiful. I love it. Be kind to yourself, says Olushore Adefioye. I love it too. Be kind to yourself. While we're waiting for Omowunmi to be back, and we're gradually moving forward toward the end of this extraordinary session. I am happy for us to take a few questions, okay? So give it to me if you've got a question for us, or if you've got a feedback about this session, you want me to know, what stands out the most for you today. Can you write it for me? What stands out the most for you today? What things are you taking away that you're definitely going to start to run with from here? I'm excited to hear from you and know that. Osei says, give yourself a chance to change. Yes. Busayo says, give yourself a chance to change. That one was really powerful. It was really stirring. Juliana says, how do you secrete in your identity and not tilt toward pride when people come with their opinions? Because sometimes there are truths in what they say. This is such a beautiful question. It's such a beautiful question. And I'm going to, while waiting for Omowunmi, I'm going to sort of take a go at it. So I truly believe that identity doesn't make you proud. It makes you centered. It makes you grounded. It makes you settle into your space courageously. So if there are truths in what is being said to you, you take that and you work with it. Identity doesn't mean that I'm all knowing about myself. It simply means that I have a great degree of recognition about what makes me me. I have a great degree of recognition about who I am and what makes me me, right? So it's important for you to find that balance. Sitting into your identity does not mean, okay, Omowunmi is back.
Hey,
they're excited. Are you back?
I'm so sorry. I do not know what happened.
It's all righty. You're welcome. So yes. Juliana, I was sort of treating Juliana's question. She's asking, how do you secrete your identity and not tilt toward pride when people come with their opinions, because sometimes there are truths in them? And Omowunmi really spoke to this thing. I feel like what is important is being able to take what is truth that aligns with what you're already discerning about yourself as well, go to work with that, but removing the poison from the point, remove the poison from the point, right? Just ensure you take the poison out of the point. Take the message, but if it's brutal, if it's cruel, dissociate yourself from treating that feedback as a personal attack. Just take it as a tool to become better. That's what I would say to you. So don't be proud. True identity, the recognition of your true identity actually makes you confident. It makes you confident but humble, because you see the areas where there's still work to be done. Identity doesn't say you're perfect. It says that, you're great. You've got great things about you, in spite of the areas where there's still work to be done, if you see what I mean. Okay.
I agree. And I kind of feel like there's a difference. Didi, can I add to that? I feel like there's a difference between pride and confidence. You're confident in yourself, and people will always come and tell you things, and that's feedback. Really, it's feedback. But you have to, that's where you kind of knowing who you are comes in. So you know where the feedback is.
I love what Omowunmi was sharing here. The difference.
It's not all feedback that is right. So you stay in confidence in who you are. And DDK, are you there?
Yes, I am. I can hear you. Even the video. Okay, you're back. I can hear you.
Yes. You stay in confidence in who you are. But pride is when you talk down on people, or when you feel better than everybody. So you not accepting what somebody is telling you is not pride. Is you knowing who you are. And even if you're not accepting, you go back and think about it. Okay, what did that person say? And sometimes you can even ask somebody that you really trust, that somebody said I'm like this. What do you think?
Yes.
You ask God as well. Somebody said I'm like this, Father. What do you think? Am I this person? You go back to your what I don't like about myself list. Is that thing there? And you work on it. you don't have to accept it. It's not who you have become or who you are. It's who they are saying that you are, and it's a character trait that you can stop, that you can unbecome, and become something else that you prefer. So sometimes when people say that this is how you are, I just say, okay, I'll work on it. In my mind, I'm already saying that, okay, I'll work on it. But I'm not telling them that, oh, okay, because you also want to be careful where you show weakness and who you show weakness to. So I'll just go. Yeah.
You've got to be careful where you show weakness and who you show weakness to. Powerful. Yeah. Wow.
DDK, I hope this is helping. I don't know if this is helping anyone because I've just been talking and I don't know. I can't see anything in the chat. I don't know, if it's helping anybody.
You have to check our comments. Our comment section is buzzing, Queen Omowunmi. It's buzzing. If you look to the right, you should find it there.
I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it.
Okay, let's take one or two more questions before round this up. It has been so good. It has been
Have you asked all your questions? Sorry, I probably wasn't talking. Have you asked all your questions, sis?
I have just one more.
Okay.
I have one more that is very important to me. I just want to take a question or two. Okay. Osei says, so what can you do if you find yourself in a toxic environment like a place of work and you don't want to harbor bitterness and hate in your heart? Wunmi, do you want to speak to that?
This means a whole lot to me, because DDK, we are in a toxic environment. We are in a toxic environment where there's the I better pass my neighbor syndrome. First of all, I'm better than you in status. I'm better than you in looks. I'm better than you in material possessions. My generator is bigger than yours. My house is bigger than yours. I know this set of people and you don't. We have out here and you don't. You can't sit with us. You can't eat with us. I don't go to that eatery. I go to that restaurant. I don't go to that restaurant. I go to that eatery. This is even bigger than your workplace. Yes, we'll talk about workplace, but it's something that has poisoned people, that people are acting and losing opportunities daily because they're putting themselves in this box and not allowing themselves flourish.
Wow.
And they're sticking to this set of people. And then I'm going to go back to this. For example, this is just an example, DJ. Like, remember in secondary school, right? There are some people that you wanted to hang out with. We used to call them bubblers. I went to QC. We used to call them the popular kids, right? And later on in life, the unpopular became popular.
Yeah.
Or popular and still popular. And some people were popular and nowhere to be found. So you realize that in some environments, the toxicity you're talking about, all of these things that I just mentioned, and it's all you knowing your truth. Unless you harbor, even your mechanic, first of all, is even toxic. Your plumber is toxic. Let me know if we start all of that. Your plumber comes to your house or your mechanic comes to your house to fix your car, and you're asking him, okay, how much is this thing? He's saying he wants to buy something. You're thinking about 5 other things that he can possibly lie to you. Okay, this is the price. Is it really the price? You want to call other people to confirm the prices because he can lie to you. He can even remove something from your car, and that's not what he's really supposed to remove from your car. So your mind is constantly overloaded because you're trying to think about the lies that this mechanic is going to tell you so that you can already pre-imagine the lies and know what you're giving back to him. And then even as a part, you tell him that at least I have army, I know police, I know this, I know that. Even you two, you are now being talked again. You're trying to tell him that listen, I know these people, and if you mess up, I'm gonna call these people on you. It's a lot of work. It's not supposed to be that way.
Yes.
It's not supposed to be that way. It's not supposed to be that way. So this thing about toxic environment, the environment would somehow always be toxic, but you cannot allow your environment define you. You can't bring the environment into your soul. That's why your inside has to be as powerful as this makeup. That's where self-love comes in. But people just think that self-love is external. You go to the spa, you take care of yourself and all that. Self-love is taking care of your inner being, feeding your inner soul, so that you're strong enough inside not to let the environment enter you. So you are entering the environment, not that the environment is entering you. You can't, unless you're taking up things. You'll be taking, somebody will look at you somehow, you feel somehow. Somebody will act somehow, you react to it. You start reacting to people's behaviors. Meanwhile, it was probably not targeted at you. And even if it was targeted at you, they are the ones behaving like that. How is it affecting you? Is it the energy or the aura? Why is your energy recognizing that energy? Why have you not imbibed your own type of energy, your own type of aura, such that it doesn't even recognize that toxicity anymore? So I think that is what is really important, is understanding yourself, understanding your self-worth, understanding what you bring to the table, understanding that you are accepted, you are significant, you are secure, and building your inner strength. The same way you go to the gym, the same way you try to put on makeup, that's the same way you're inside. You're supposed to be gymming inside. You're supposed to be building your muscle inside. Your spiritual being, you're supposed to be working on that every time.
1 billion %.
Such that when things are happening around you, you are still. And you know that He is God.
It's real. It's real. I'm telling you. And a book I recommend for everyone who is asking about how do I keep a purified state of soul, elevating to my higher realms of compassion, of love, of peace, of respect, authenticity, in spite of the toxicity around me. A book I heartily recommend is The 40-Day Soul Fast by Dr. Cindy Trim. The 40-Day Soul Fast. It's a powerful, powerful book.
I also recommend the book The Purpose Driven Life. That, that book is like a Bible. I go back to it every time. The Purpose Driven Life is a really good book as well. And yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
We'll take more questions before we go to our own final question. And Queen Omowunmi, you are a well of wisdom. This has been so good. And the feedback on the comments is really buzzing. Book Gist Gang says, how do I deal with my identity injuries without being disrespectful, especially when it is being constantly injured by people in authority over me? For example, my parents. That's a powerful question.
When it's not injured by people in authority over me.
Yeah.
So I feel like this has to do with a lot of us. I had to deal with that as well, because sometimes your past creates your present, but you should not let it affect your future. So there are things that have happened to us that we've taken in subconsciously. There are things that we've imbibed. There are things that our parents have said to us. There are things that our friends have said to us. There are things that have been done to us.
Yes.
That have injured us subconsciously. But what I would say is face it. Write it down. Because once you can't face it, you are burying it. Now you feel you know about it. That's why you're writing this this book Gist Gang. But have you faced it? write it down, stare it in the eye and say, okay, this happened. Now I'm not sure which injury. Now, okay, you're saying identity injury. Now write down, okay, this is how this, that means you're even aware. I even congratulate you for even sending this question, because you have some level of self-awareness of the injuries that happen to you.
Yes.
So you write them down, and you write who you are, right? Who you want to be presently. And you compare those and look at it. Okay, this is what has happened to me, and this is who I want to be. This is who I want to be presently. This is who I am presently. And just focus more on that present self. Focus more on this new being. And I'm telling you that another thing that works for me, DDK, is looking in the mirror. This thing, it sounds easy, but it's hard to do. And when you are doing it, you realize that your body is reacting. When you write those great things about yourself, and you look at it and you say it in front of the mirror, you look at the mirror and say it, your body starts reacting. Your brain, your mind, this is something that you don't, it sounds very simple. But once you start doing that, you're speaking life into yourself. 70% of our body is made of water. And water changes. I don't know if people know this, but water changes in molecules according to label. So if you speak to water, it moves. Yes. When you speak to water particles, if you put water inside a jar, right, and you put love, and you put water into another jar and you put hate, when you magnify the particles of the water of hate, it's different from the particles of water of love. It looks different. It looks different. I don't know if you see what snow looks like. Like when you watch movies and there's a snow, there's the way the snow label is. The love, the one that the jar that is filled with water and is labeled with love, the particles of water is glowing. It's glowing. And the one that you write hate is just, it's dirty. I'm telling you, but it looks normal from afar. And that's how we all are inside. Some people are really dirty inside, and some people are so clean and pure inside. So you speaking to yourself using your outer ears and not just your inner ear, because why is it that even as I'm talking now, I can hear myself? Why did God give us outer ears? And if I keep quiet and say something, I can hear myself inside. But even you speaking out, that's why sometimes what people say to us affects us more than what we say to ourselves. So if people can say things to me and affect me, why can't I say things to myself? If you stand in front of the mirror, you write those things. You write, I am beautiful, I am intelligent, I stand with God. Something you want, I am successful. I'm the first woman to do this. I'm the first woman. You say it in front of the mirror. The first few times your body will be reacting. It will be uncomfortable. Because you haven't faced yourself. You have never faced yourself in light. So please try it this night. Speak to yourself in front of the mirror. Write great things about yourself and speak to your water. Speak to the water inside you. And let that water form and shape into those words that you have written down. Thank me later.
Oh my God, guys, don't let's thank her later. Let's thank her now. Let's thank Queen Omowunmi Akinnifesi now. Like my heart is beating and burning. What a night. Like what is going on, guys? Give it to me in the comment section how you're describing tonight. What one word are you using? 2 words, a phrase, a sentence. How are you describing tonight? How are you describing tonight? I want to know what you feel. Okay, it's wow for you. Somebody says, thank you so much. This is so precious. It's so precious. It's mind-blowing to have sat under your wisdom, listened to you. Like, look at that. Like, we are just buzzing with our gratitude. You are extraordinary. You are precious. Thank you very much, Queen Omowunmi. My final question for you, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, fantastic. My final question for you is, how does it make you feel? You've described that transition from leaving for the labels and, trying to leave for the impressions you're making to now really unveiling you. How does that feel on your body, your emotions, your mind, your spirit, your space? Do you want to talk about that?
I feel light because all along you've been carrying a burden that did not concern you.
Yeah, yeah.
You've been carrying an unnecessary burden. So I feel light, I feel safe, I
Mm,
feel content, I feel I feel ready. And
mm,
when you stop walking in labels and lies, your light truly shines and you accept yourself, things start happening in your life. Your divineness becomes your truth. And all of the things that you thought, oh my goodness, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? How am I going to do that? All those things that your spirit was telling you, oh, do this, do that, do this, do this. And you couldn't do it because you weren't even listening. You weren't even attentive. Your
yeah.
ears, your body was doing something else when your spirit was asking you to do something else. You become one with yourself
Mm,
and things start happening. So all of the things that are done in the past, all of the different projects are done in the past, everything now makes sense. All of the mistakes that I'd made, everything now makes sense.
mm.
But, and the thing about, working with God and discovering yourself and your self-worth is that God he's not in a hurry. So if you like, don't do it now.
So
When
good.
you are 45, that's when it will happen. He's waiting.
Yes.
When you are 50, that's when it will happen. When you are 60, that's when it will happen. So God, we're the ones looking at age. God is not looking at age. When you are ready, that's when he will attend to you. So I feel like even with the different phases of our lives, because we have different phases, we have different seasons in our lives where we attach different talents to. There are different things that we do in our lives, at
Mm.
different phases and in different seasons. So if you don't
Oh God.
quickly go through this journey of self-discovery, there are different phases that will
Mm.
pass you by. They're just
Wow.
different things that will simply pass you by. And you now become shoulda, gonna, wanna, I should have, could
Mm.
have, if I had. Meanwhile, it's not really about that thing you should have done. It's who you should have been in order to do those.
Wow.
So if you are not being now, you will just be a human doing. You will not be a human being.
Mm.
So you have to come to that place where that self-discovery, self-worth would let you know what you're bringing to the table. Your
Yes.
opportunities will change. Your conversations will change. Your relationships will change. Your path will be revealed, which will be changed.
Mm.
So everything in life, the true journey of life, really begins with that self-discovery, with that discovery of that self-worth, with that looking at yourself in the mirror, with that knowing who I am and who I am not.
Hey.
I can do and what I cannot do. It truly starts from there. If you can't look in the mirror, then you are not ready. And it's waiting for you in front. Because all the things that God has told you to do, there are things that God tells us to do in seasons, and there are things that God has told us to do, period. So let me
Mm.
give you an example. In 2009, God told me, go into coaching. It wasn't coaching at that time. It was he wanted me to honestly wanted me to mask it as, oh, train women on international image and etiquette and all of these things, but really I was going to train women on that, but also I was going to help them know their self-worth, self-confidence, develop skills, know who they truly are, just building women to last. And I wrote a business plan for it because everything we got is structure. You have to be able to organize yourself. And me writing a business plan, it's not about finances or whatever. It's about having a proper structure. I did all of that. At the end of the day, I thought, you know what? I spoke to people seeking validation again. I spoke to people. What do you think what do you think about this? What do you think about this? What if I do? People are like, what are you talking about? You want to teach etiquette? Meanwhile, they were not there when God was telling me. So what I could present to them was etiquette, this, that. But what God was really telling me to do was more. But of course, they can't see that. So the people you are talking to don't even have all the information. But you're only giving them what you can, because that's the only way you can really explain it. And I dropped it. I didn't do it. And there were different phases, other things happening. I was doing my environmental consultancy, making money from that, project management, making money from that, my branding and PR, making money from that. All of those things, I was making money. But this thing was still inside. You see, when I went through that phase of isolation, that place of isolation where God was telling me, you are this, you are that. He was slapping me left, right, and center with, this is who you are, this is who you are not. That's when DDK, nothing made sense to me. DDK, if you had given me 100 million naira at that point, it meant nothing. I was dead in my soul because I had decayed inside, out of the pretense of outside. My inside had decayed. So I was in, you know what they call the dark night of the soul. It was so dark that the light could not be financial. I was thinking that time, just give me 100 million naira, it will mean nothing. I was ready, you know, Father Lord, if this is my last day on earth, please let me be going, because I'm not feeling anything. I'm not feeling. I was unhappy. The only thing that brought joy to me, DDK, was coaching other people, was training women, was talking to women. That was the only thing. So that thing I had been avoiding, that thing that God had told me to do, that I avoided for so long, that was the only thing that brought light to my life. Yes. So if there's something that God has told you to do, and you are belittling it, you're looking down on it because of what the world is saying, because of that validation you're seeking, because you're trying to be like other people, and you are feeling like, God, this thing is not going to make me blow. It's not going to make me a billionaire. It's not going to make me have those shoes that I'm seeing on Instagram. It's not going to make me an influencer. Hey, you are abandoning those things. You are pressing it down. But that is what God is really calling you to do. And we think that when we answer God, we're going to change it to something else. Or that thing, because we don't see it going the way of the world, we don't answer it. Meanwhile, that is really the thing that will present you to the world. That is really the thing that will bring out your light. It may look small, but with God, it's always a small seed that blooms. God doesn't start big from small. He starts small into big. So if you are looking for that big thing that will make you blow, that's not it. What is that thing that God has placed in your heart that you've been abandoning, you've been looking down on? Your friends have been like, oh, are you really doing that now? Is that what you're doing now? Okay. Some people will even stop talking to you and start doing those things. But when the light comes on you, and you flourish, they'll come back and be like, oh, I know her. We were in school together. Meanwhile, before it was not like that. So you need to understand the season of your life. Now, there's some things that you were supposed to do in the past. You know, there's some, so for example, me, I've been a dancer, DDK. I want dancing machine in school. Like, I'm one of those people that I can do everything, like 360 dancing, everything. But there was a phase for that. There was a time I was supposed to do that, and I did that at a time. Can I do that now? No, I'm not going to do that. But if I didn't tap into it then, I won't be on this path now. I won't be able to look back and say, oh, I did that. I'll always be like, I should have, could have, would have. And I'll now want to do it in this season. That is
the
not
wrong
the
season.
It's the wrong season for this season is now the coaching season. This season is now the other season. So a lot of people try to bring a season, a past season into a current season, and it can't work.
It can't work.
So what you need to do is get with the program of your current season. It's okay. You think that you've lost things. You've not lost anything. It was just a season. Deal with the present time. What is the season of the now? I'm telling you, when you engage in a season of the now, all of those seasons will start to make sense, even the ones you thought you missed.
Wow.
Things will happen that you realize that, oh, I didn't miss it. It was just a season and I've left it behind. Now I'm becoming. Because if you keep looking at those past seasons, you will be missing the front seasons.
Yes.
If you keep pretending to be somebody else, you will miss the front seasons. You miss those opportunities coming in front. So it's okay. Let's focus on now and let's rest. Let's rest on who we truly are and our self-worth, on being accepted, being secure, and being significant in Christ.
Wow.
I really wish I could. There's so much I want to share, but I know that.
Wow. This what? Omowunmi, you came for us like a true queen, and this is precious. It's been an extraordinary evening. Like, I'm full, and I still have to like go back, sit with it on my own, and take my notes. And I mean, thank you for showing up, not with your half self or a quarter of yourself or 3/4. You came full chested, 100%. You came. The truth resonated so deeply, so powerfully. Even for me, big lessons, and to hear you like exactly so exactly being vulnerable, like that's what you've done. And I mean, there's a lot to take away, a lot to learn, a lot to go back to. Before we close out, let me remind you again, Visionary Compass is actually now set to open to you. Every single one who's been asking for the last few weeks, who've been on the waiting list, we are now set to open for you. On Wednesday, you get a chance to access the link as well as get my huge discount. So I want you to get ready for that. It's 40 weeks. It is MBA grade for visionaries who really want to birth and build out the vision on your inside. So again, we really want to thank you, Queen Omowunmi Akinnifesi. You're precious, you're special, you're a deep well of wisdom. We've learned, and we are not going to forget the things you've taught us. To everyone who couldn't even join in, let your friends, sisters, brothers, co-visionaries know that they can access this video on our channel and share it in your community. So many more people need to receive the emotional and mental deliverance that took place in this place tonight. Omowunmi, what will be your final words as we close out on the talk show tonight?
I know that they're DDK. There's so much I want to share. Like I'm sorry, I know it's final words, but it's just, I know that there's somebody out there that they're saying that your own is too much. You're good at so many things. They've labeled you jack of all trades. I've been labeled jack of all trades. I've been labeled confused. That, she's confused. Those people labeling you, they're afraid that, wow, you're so good at so many things. But the best way they know how to relate it to you is saying that, why are you doing so many things? Or you've come with this one again. Or, and she's always doing one thing. Which one is she doing again? Which one is it? You see, The earlier you do all those things, the better for you. Whatever it is, your heart is like your compass. Your heart is telling you, do this, do this, do this, do it. Do it. Find yourself, the Bible says, you sow in the morning, sow in the evening, because you never know which one will multiply. Really, I'm just paraphrasing, but you need to. It's like you're talking about the body, right? And because people are telling you, why are you using your head, why are you using your mouth, why are you using your legs, why are you using your stomach, you only want to use your hand. So you pick only one thing that God said you should do. You don't do the other things. And you become stagnant. Your body cannot move. If it's only the leg you choose to use, you can't hold anything, you can't do anything. If it's only your brain, you are paralyzed. So there's no how. All the things that God has set your heart to do them, max them out, because at a point, the thing which you're really supposed to do will show up. And you realize that all those little things that was looking like a jack of all trades would merge as one. And if you lacked in any of those things, you didn't do some of.
Wow. This is just so good. And it's amazing how there's a repeat of some.
And I wanted to do it that time. Now I need it. So whatever it is your heart has set to do it. Because those things, it creates a leverage. It creates a leverage for where you are going. If I did not become a beauty queen, certain things would not have happened in my life. If I did not do project management, certain things would not have happened in my life. If I did not do tourism, certain things would not happen in my life. If I didn't do branding, if I didn't do PR, if I didn't do, I did fashion. And I studied all these things. So at a point, it looked like I was going to school for different things. Imagine you go to school for environmental management, you go to school for fashion, you go to school for project management, you go to school for business analysis, you go to school for leadership. And as I was going to school, I was building businesses under it. So Babanla confused. It sounds great now because I'm making it sound good. But at that time, I looked like a confused person. But all those things are the reason why I can talk to people today.
Yes.
All those things I did are the experiences and wealth experiences. There are people that want to employ me to do some certain things that if I didn't do all those things that look like I was a crazy person, they won't want to employ me. There's certain businesses I can do now that because of those businesses that I even failed in. Because there's some of the businesses I failed woefully in, and there's some I was successful in, but all join. All has become greatness now, so to say. It didn't look like that then, but all has now become something.
So beautiful.
So where are the people that were calling me jack of all trades? And sometimes people are labeling you, but you're also labeling yourself that, hey, which one am I going to do now? I'm not even doing so many things now. Which am I going to do now? So you really need to explore quickly. Enjoy it. I don't care how old you are. You feel old, you feel young. Do those things. Start small. In fact, do it badly. In fact, have the mind that, okay, maybe I'm going to fail in this. Okay. What if I fail? Okay, that's fine. Something else is gonna show up in the future that I've needed this failure for.
Wow.
I say that one, but I also want to talk to the women that feel that they have to compromise themselves to do some certain things. Please, I'm begging you, do not compromise yourself. You have to understand your design. Understand when there's, when you look at a fish, right? A fish has fins. It's designed in a particular way. So you need to know who you are. I'm not the kind of person, I realize, there are different kind of people. I'm not slamming anybody, but I realize that I cannot sleep with a man and something will come out of it. It won't happen for me. So it's not my design. That's not the way God created me. And for some people, the devil is even distracting them because things are coming out, but those are mediocre things from the destiny that God has set aside for you. Because even times when I even feel I'm almost compromising myself, the thing now comes in on a platter of gold and it's taken from me because of the compromise that I almost compromised. So is it not better that I don't even compromise at all? That please let the thing even come on a platter of gold. So you need to be careful. You need to be watchful. We get carried away. And we're not watching those things we really want. There are ways it comes to you through the Father. I know it sounds like I'm just speaking.
No.
But please, I am a beauty queen. There are things that have been handed out over to me on a platter of gold that I rejected. There are paths I could have taken that I rejected because of those small seeds that God was putting in me that I did not look down, that I was looking down on at the time. But those things are the things that that's going to bring me all of those things that I felt I was compromising myself for. Please, I hope you understand this explanation.
Yes.
Never compromise your values, because now I see that it's even a proud thing to be this, but there's no, nobody's even embarrassed again to say that, oh, I dated this man, or I stepped this man, or I did this, or I did that. I'm not shaming anybody, but at a point, people used to be embarrassed of things like that. But all of a sudden now, women just feel like that's the only way that they can be something. I have to. If I don't show breast, I'm not in. Or if I don't show bum bum, I'm not there. Please, I'm a beauty queen. You don't have to do those things. You don't have to be that person. Know your design. Go to the manufacturer and seek in the manual for who you are. Talk to God about it. Hear the word of God. Align yourself with the Spirit of God. Align yourself with the Holy Spirit. Take time out to dig in deep into who I am not, what I can do, what I can't do.
So good.
And you realize that your path is clearer. Please, let's not be blinded by things happening on social media. Let's not be blinded by all of that. Half of the people you see on social media are crying at home at night. Meanwhile, you are trying to be like them. Meanwhile, your own path is clean and fresh. You still have a way to go that you have not gone. You still have that seed that is in you that you are not made germinate in your mind. You're trying to constantly pretend to be somebody else. Please remove the scales from your eyes and stop being blind, please. And embrace your presence, embrace your truth, and love yourself through your inner being.
So good.
Most of the people on Instagram are human doing. They are doing. I'm telling you, in a few years, when they crash, are you going to crash with them? Do you want to crash with them? Be careful so you don't crash. Thank you. That's what I'm going to say.
Wow. Okay, this has been something else. Thank you so much, Omowunmi. It's been an extraordinary evening, everyone. We'll see you on Wednesday with Dr. Niyi Borire. I tell you beyond equivocation, you don't want to miss Dr. Niyi Borire. It's going to be an extraordinary time. See how much fun we had with Omowunmi, like wisdom and basbos, plus healing and compassion. She just went through from being a sister, friend, sometimes your mom, just mixing all these things. And I believe that your gift, your time, your seed, it will speak among me. You're a blessing, and light continues to shine on your path as well for giving of yourself this way. Okay, we've come to the end of Visionary Talk Show for today, and we're going to see you on Wednesday. Love you very much, and have yourself a truly beautiful evening. Thank you, Mommy. Love you so much.
Thank you for having me. I love you guys. Thank you. I love you guys. Bye. Thank you so much. Thank you.